So have you ever been somewhere and you feel it's a God ordained moment, like you're not there just for no reason? I heard Jimmy speaking with Kirk Lane, and Jimmy was talking about what God had done in his life, his experience, his work in the recovery housing, and then peer support. And as I sat there, I thought, there's something here. I've got to meet Jimmy. And what I was really thinking is that my son Parker, who was struggling with addiction at the time, would actually be able to meet him.
It's the love. It's not about the red and black, the profit margin with Next Step. They have love for each other. They all support each other. They hold each other accountable. I think that's the biggest difference is just the love that they feel for each other.
This is more than just a program, man. This program, he loves us here. It's different. He's always hanging out with us. We're always doing stuff.
We are a 38-bed transitional recovery residence. We provide a safe, stable atmosphere for men to learn how to live without using substances.
The guys here, we love each other. We've got a leader, Jimmy, he loves us, and it's just, man, I've never stepped foot in a place like this before. I wanted to find a place to go, so I didn't go back to being homeless or couch surfing. And now, I'm loving it, and I'm clean, and I'm glad I'm clean. I've never had goals or, a positive outlook on life. I just thought I was going to be a drug addict for the rest of my life, and now I have hopes of having a mortgage and, a wife and a better relationship with God, and it's already grown so much since I've been here, and it just keeps on, and man, it's crazy.
Once I realized that I need to change my way of thinking and really try something different, only then did everything start to slowly work. I have to put the work in. I have to call my sponsor. I have to do my step work. I have to do service work. It's not my way anymore. It's realizing that I do have a higher power greater than myself, and I just need to let him in my life and let him show me what to do.
Our mission is to be the recovery standard in the state of Arkansas and be the premier recovery provider for recovery housing.
My name's Paul Etzkorn. I'm a parole probation agent out of Clarksville, Arkansas. Been with the agency for 8 years. I'm the officer in charge of most all the participants at Next Step. They're not afraid to come in and talk to me when they're having issues. I think they love me. I really do. I know I love them, and I try to show them, as an officer, I'm not the bad guy. I want to see them succeed. Next Step, they actually help these guys get jobs, get their licenses back, make sure they have transportation to and from work, make sure that they make their court dates, make sure that if they have any outstanding warrants that they get handled.
I thought Austin had a peer pressure problem. I thought he'd like to smoke marijuana, but then if he got around 6 or 7 people that had some hydros, they wanted to crush him up and they'd go, Austin.
The day that I told him that I was going to drug test him, he decided to get on the phone that second, and I think he called Jimmy and said, I'm ready to come.
On the way up there, I could tell something wasn't right, whether it be the slurring or the way he was handling himself. And I told Annette, I said, that sucker is high now.
Austin was one of those kids who always sent me a good morning, Mom, I love you, or a good night, Mom, I love you. I saw that there was so much support and so much love from that place. He felt loved from the second he walked through the door.
But the love there, what I saw, and I've watched it twice, it started with Jimmy.
Absolutely. Jimmy is one of those that is I would say he's very firm with these guys. There are rules, and those rules are set. And Austin never wavered from those rules. Austin was a rule follower as long as he had those guidelines there. He also became so involved at the Link Church in Clarksville that church services on Sunday were his favorite days of the week. And he would tell me every morning, tomorrow's Sunday, and I'm so excited he gets to go to church. With Next Step, they have to take care of themselves. So everything that they have to be responsible. So Austin was actually, for the first time, really learning how to be responsible and drug-free, trying to save his money. He wanted to do everything he could to progress his life. And what I've read in his notes were, I can't be around people that aren't like-minded. And if I'm around someone that is doing what I used to do, it's never going to work. So he knew that he had to find Christian people to hang out with, drug-free people to hang out with, and that the lifestyle that he had before was forever changed.
This was a godly thing.
Very.
From the time we got a phone call about a wreck, we drove an hour and a half, and we don't know anything, and they're not going to tell us. I mean, we're calling people, but they never let us know. And I think we were about 2 hours in, and we got a phone call from an individual that let us know that they had found out that Austin was
one of the fatalities. Him and Nick, I believe, had just kind of started a little Bible study there at the house. I think they were going to try to get the guys together and start a little Bible study. And it was my understanding that the night before he passed away, that he had told that group that if I die tomorrow for the first time in my life, I know where I'm going to live, where I will spend eternity. And that was something that gave me a lot of peace. Didn't make it any easier, but it did give me some peace to know that, I had a friend of mine say that God picks them when they're ripe, and that's exactly what happened. I just want to say thank you to Next Step for allowing me to have a wonderful relationship with my son in the end, and for taking such good care of him, for being that hope that these guys can come together and they can be like-minded and they can have fun without drugs. What Jimmy does over there is he has fun with those guys.
What I was really thinking is that my son Parker would have this wonderful journey like Jimmy and be able to help others with their addiction. But what happened is my son didn't make it. Addiction took his life in 2018, and he was only 20 years old. And at that moment, I said, God, okay, this is what I'm faced with. Now help me to use his story and to save lives and make a difference with my story and Parker's journey and now his loss. And I saw what Jimmy and Chelsea were doing was just amazing, and it was much needed, and I felt that my son could have benefited from a program like that, and was able to secure a donation that was helped Jimmy and Chelsea buy their first house in Clarksville, and it's now called the Parker House. And it's just a wonderful feeling to know that I am a part of an organization that is helping others now live a life free of addiction, a life that my son, is not able to live now. And I've been able to meet some of the men that have gone through Next Step Recovery Housing and follow their journey and just see what Next Step has been able to offer them.